Welcome students. Now we are going to start matrices. As all you studies the matrices in your previous classes. So in the same manner we are going to start matrices once again. So as you know, matrices are everywhere. If you have used a spreadsheet such as Excel or written a table, you have used a matrix. Matrices make presentation of numbers clear and make calculation easier to program. If we look the given matrix, this is these are the types of tires and these are the quarters of a year. If we talk about the type of tires, there are tire stone, Michigan, copper, and there are 4 quarters: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. If we want to know how many copper tires were sold in quarter 4, then we have to move in the row of copper and in the column of Q4. The element is 27. So we can say the sale of copper tire in quarter 4 is 27. Now if we talk about the definition of matrix, we can say that a matrix is a rectangular array of elements arranged in row and columns, enclosed within brackets. The elements can be symbolic expressions or numbers. A matrix is denoted by a capital letter. For example, we have a matrix capital A and the elements written in the brackets like A11, A12 up to so on AN. These are the elements of first row. A21, A22, A21, the elements of the second row. Similarly, if we move for M rows, we can get the elements AM1, AM2 up to AMN. So we have the elements in rows and columns. This type of arrangement is called matrices. If we talk about row I, which having n elements, the elements would be AI1, AI2 up to AIN. Similarly, if we talk about the column J, having m elements, the elements would be A1J, A2J up to so on AMJ. So we can say that each matrix has row and columns, and these rows and columns define the size of matrix, or we can say the order of matrix. For example, if a matrix A has m rows and n columns, the size of the matrix will be denoted by m cross n, or simply we can say m into n matrix. The matrix A may also be denoted by like this: A m into n. M represents the number of rows and n represents the number of columns. Now, if we talk about the entries in a matrix, so each entry of the matrix can be called an element of the matrix and which can be denoted by Aij, where I can be the row of the matrix and J is the column number of the element. For example, in the previous matrix we have discussed earlier, we get the element 27 which lies in the third row and fourth column. Therefore, this is the element A34 which is equals to 27. Now we are going to discuss about the type of matrices. There are different type of matrices. So we will discuss one by one all the types of matrices. First we have a row matrix. If a matrix having only one row or any number of column, then it is called a row matrix. For example, we have a matrix B which having elements B1, B2 up to so on. These elements are arranged in a row and there are n columns. So this type of arrangement is called a row matrix. Now come to the column matrix. If any matrix having one column and any number of rows, then it is called a column matrix. For example, we have a matrix named C. The elements are C1, C2 up to Cm. These elements are arranged in a column and there are m rows. So this type of arrangement can be called a column matrix and the order of this matrix is m. We have an example of row matrix. The matrix B having all the elements arranged in rows. So this matrix having one row and m columns, sorry, 5 columns. Therefore, this is a row matrix and the order of matrix is 5. Another example, we are having a column matrix C. All the elements are arranged in a column and there are 3 rows. So this is a column matrix whose order is 3. Now we talk about the submatrix. If we remove some rows or some column of a matrix A, then the resultant matrix can be called a submatrix of A. We can also get a submatrix by not removing any rows or any column. So every matrix is a submatrix of itself. For example, we have a matrix having 2 rows and 3 columns. If we remove some columns or some rows of this matrix, we can find some submatrices of the given matrix. Now come to the square matrix. If the number of rows m in a matrix is equal to the number of columns n of that matrix, then the matrix is called a square matrix. In simple language, a square matrix is a matrix having equal number of rows and equal number of columns. This type of arrangement is called a square matrix. The entries A11, A22, A33 or ANN are called the diagonal elements of the square matrix. If we talk about the diagonal elements, the diagonal, sometimes we pronunciate the diagonal elements at the principal diagonal or the main diagonal of the matrix. If anywhere written that we are discuss about the diagonal element, it is pre-assumed that we are talking about the principal diagonal of the matrix. In the given example, we have a 3 cross 3 matrix having 3 rows and 3 columns. So this is a square matrix and the diagonal elements are 25, 10 and 7. These are the elements of the principal diagonal. Now we are going to discuss about the triangular matrix. There are 2 types of triangular matrices, upper triangular matrix and lower triangular matrix. First we discuss about the upper triangular matrix. A square matrix is called an upper triangular matrix if all the elements below the principal diagonal are 0. We have an example over here. This is a 3 cross 3 matrix having 3 rows and 3 columns. The diagonal elements are 10, -1 and 5. And if we talk about the elements below the diagonal, these are the 0. So this type of arrangement is an upper triangular matrix. Now we discuss about the lower triangular matrix. A square matrix is called a lower triangular matrix if all the elements above the principal diagonal are 0. If we talk about this example, this is a 3 cross 3 square matrix. The principal diagonal elements are 1, 1 and 1 and the elements lying above the principal diagonal are 0. These are the element of 1, 2, 1, 3 and 2, 3. These elements are 0. So therefore, this type of arrangement is called a lower triangular matrix. Now we talk about the diagonal matrix. A square matrix with all non-diagonal elements equals to 0 is called a diagonal elements. That means in a diagonal elements, only the diagonal elements can be non-zero and rest of the element should be 0. if in any matrix the diagonal elements are also 0, it can also be pronunciated as diagonal matrix. We have one example in front of us. This is a 3 cross 3 square matrix and having diagonal elements like 3, 1, 0. This is a diagonal matrix. Now come to the identity matrix. Identity matrix plays a very important role in our discussion. If we discuss further in the matrices, the identity matrix plays a very important role in every calculation. So we have to discuss about the identity matrix. A diagonal matrix with all diagonal elements equals to 1 is called an identity matrix. The identity matrix usually denoted by the letter capital A. We are having two examples of identity matrix. In first example, there are 4 rows and 4 columns. All the elements are 0 except the diagonal elements which are 1. So this is an example of identity matrix of order 4. Another example is having 3 rows and 3 columns. All the elements are 0 except the elements on the principal diagonal. So this is also an identity matrix whose order is 3. Now we are going to discuss about zero matrix or null matrix. Zero matrix is a matrix in which all the entries are 0. Whether it is a square matrix or not, if the matrix having all the elements are 0, then we can call this type of arrangement as zero matrix. We are having two examples. One is matrix A having 3 rows and 3 columns, all the elements are 0. Another example consisting a matrix having 2 rows and 3 columns, these are also 0. So both the examples are the zero matrix or null matrix. Another type of matrix is tridiagonal matrix. A tridiagonal matrix has non-zero elements only on the main diagonal, the diagonal upon the main diagonal, and the diagonal below the main diagonal. This special structure appears often in scientific computing and computer graphics. Let's see one example of tridiagonal matrix. If we see this example consisting of 4 rows and 4 columns, we see that the elements on the principal diagonal are non-zero, like 1, 4, 3, 3. And if we talk about the elements below the principal diagonal, those elements are also non-zero, 3, 2 and 1. The elements above the principal diagonal are also non-zero, 4, 1 and 1. Sorry, 4, 1 and 4. So this type of arrangement is called a tridiagonal matrix. Now we are going to discuss about diagonally dominant matrix. A n cross n matrix is diagonally dominant if for each row the absolute value of the diagonal element is greater than or equal to the sum of the absolute values of the rest of the elements of that row, and that are the inequality is strictly greater than for at least one row. Diagonally dominant matrices are important in ensuring convergence in iterative schemes of solving simultaneous linear equation. Let's see examples. So we have an example in front of us. We have a matrix A consisting of 3 rows and 3 columns. If we talk about the element A11, this element is 15 and the absolute value of this is also 15. The rest of the elements are 6 and 7. If we talk about the absolute values of these two elements, these are 6 and 7 again, and the summation is 13. So for the first row, the diagonal element is greater than the rest of the elements. Now if we talk about the second row, the A22 element is minus 4. The absolute value of this element is 4. And if we sum the rest of the element of that row, which are 2 and minus 2, we get 4 again. So for the second row, we can see that the diagonal element is greater than or equals to the sum of the absolute value of the rest of the element. If we talk about the element A33, which is 6, and which is also greater than the sum of the absolute value of the rest of the element, which is 5. So we can say that for at least one row, that is one row and third row, the inequality is strictly greater than. So the given matrix is a diagonal dominant matrix. Now come to another example. Let's discuss about this matrix. This is again 3 cross 3 square matrix. The A22 element is minus 15, having the absolute value 15. If we sum up the absolute value of rest of the element, which is 6 and 9, we can get 15. The other element is minus 4. The absolute values is 4. And if we sum the absolute value of the rest of the element of that row, we again get 4. Now come to the element B33, which is 5.001, absolute value is also 5.001, which is strictly greater than the sum of the absolute value of the rest of the element. So in this case, we can also say that the row third is following the law of diagonally dominant, hence the given matrix is diagonally dominant matrix. Let us consider another matrix, the matrix C. This is also 3 cross 3 square matrix. If we talk about the element C22, which is 8, having the absolute value is 8, and if we sum up the absolute value of rest of the element, which are 64 and 1, in this case, the condition of diagonally dominant cannot be followed. Therefore, the given matrix is not diagonally dominant matrix. Now come to the transpose of a matrix. If we interchange row and column of any matrix, the matrix obtained is called the transpose of the previous matrix. For example, we are having a matrix A. The elements in the first row are 2, 3, 4. The elements of the second row are 1, 0, 5, and the elements of the third row are 6, 7, 8. Now if we change first row into the first column, second row into the second column, and third row into the third column, we are getting another matrix, and this is the new matrix is called the transpose of the matrix. So this is for this lecture. We can discuss other matrices in the next lecture. Thank you so much.